would work for 40 hours straight and then I'd sleep for 8. I had lost 27 pounds building that car. I was crying because he wanted to put these lines on it due to some bad business decisions. The hot rod shop went bankrupt.
For decades, Chip Foose seemed to have the dream ride. A world-famous car designer, a hit TV show, a booming business, a beautiful wife, and 2 adoring kids. But as any seasoned builder knows, even the most flawless restoration can conceal hidden rust. Behind Chip's success story lay a personal heartbreak that finally cracked wide open, and it changed the Foose family forever. Today, we pull back the curtain on the end of Chip and Lynn Foose's nearly 30-year marriage, and reveal how their divorce shaped the life of their son Brock. This is a tale of passion, sacrifice, loss, and ultimately hope.
I've gone through some big changes in my career and my life. Got rid of my first wife, and I gave her everything.
Welcome back to Tuna No Crust, the largest car TV show news on YouTube. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's roll. In the early 1980s, Charles Chip Foose was a lanky teenager sketching concept cars in his notebooks, while his girlfriend Lynn cheered him on, though they had grown up in modest Southern California homes. Chip's father, Sam Foose, a respected local builder, Lynn's family running a small hardware store. They shared an outsized ambition, but Lynn had one non-negotiable rule: no marriage until Chip finished college. She wanted a partner whose drive matched his talent. So after high school, Chip enrolled in engineering classes, attending lectures by day and wrenching on weekend projects. When he finally earned his degree in 1990, he proposed and got more than a ring, decades of partnership. Fresh out of school, Chip landed a job at Boyd Coddington's renowned hot rod shop.
So I got a contract from Ford and I had a contract from Volkswagen. I decided I better tell Boyd. So I go down there, I visit with him, I tell him what's going on, and he says, I'll offer you more. And he made me a better offer than both of them.
But by 1998, Coddington's empire collapsed under financial strain. With Lynn pregnant and bills mounting, the couple faced a crossroads. Rather than fold, they hauled their tools into a 2-car garage behind Lynn's childhood home and launched Foose Design. No flashy investors, just a handshake, some second mortgage cash, and a shared belief they could make it work. Between blueprint revisions and prototype builds, chip away at metal, Lynn handled billing, contracts, and bookkeeping. During pregnancy doctor visits, Chip would sneak in wrench time afterward rather than miss a deadline. When son Brock arrived in August 1998, they celebrated by rolling up their sleeves and keeping the lights on. 2 years later, daughter Katie joined the crew, this time with a baby monitor in the office. Chip often credited his father Sam for instilling a family-first ethos. On slow shop days, Sam would wheel his walker down the aisle, remind Chip that success meant nothing if his kids grew up with an absent dad. Those early lessons guided Chip to bring Brock and Katie into the shop, letting them finger paint on spare fenders and sit in the driver's seat at car shows, planting the seed that work and life could blend rather than compete. In 2004, TLC pitched a reality show, transform a neglected ride into a jaw-dropping surprise restoration in less than a week. Overhaulin was born, and Chip's affable on-camera presence, part genius designer, part compassionate coach, clicked immediately. By season 3, Overhaulin averaged over 1.5 million viewers per episode, with fan mail thanking Chip for both car makeovers and life lessons. While Overhaulin rolled out 120-plus episodes over a decade, Foose Design bookings exploded. Magazine covers, SEMA keynote speeches, brand partnerships, they all flooded in. But so did filming demands. Multi-city shoots, 14-hour days on set, endless autograph lines. Chip often logged 18-hour days, flying cross-country one morning, in the garage by noon, and on camera by sunset, barely beating Lynn home for bedtime routines. By 2012, the cracks were showing. Chip even missed Katie's first school play because they were taping Overhaulin that day. It was a sobering moment. Being a hero, comforting someone on TV meant little if he couldn't be there for his own family. Meanwhile, Lynn kept Foose Design's books balanced and deadlines met, but her frustration simmered. Who would balance Chip's calendar? Their differing styles, Chip's passion first versus Lynn's profit and plan, led to recurring tension. Chip would champion a low-margin personal favor for a deserving car owner. Lynn would counter with spreadsheets forecasting unsustainable costs. Small script changes, "let's do it" versus "can we afford it," played out not just at home, but in behind-the-scenes business meetings. By 2015, even close friends noticed Chip and Lynn traveling separately. He in jet-lagged mode, promoting a new show, she at the shop, negotiating vendor contracts. At public events, they'd flash their trademark smiles, but backstage you'd find them exchanging curt updates via text rather than embracing. Communication breakdown. Simple "I love you" text turned into bullet lists about shipping delays or schedule changes. Lonely hotel rooms. Chip on location in Atlanta while Lynn handled an emergency weld issue in Orange County. Guarded hearts. Shared dreams gave way to guarded conversations, each protecting their own emotional limits. In late 2019, Lynn quietly filed for divorce in Orange County Superior Court. No tabloid circus, just legal papers served by a professional process server. The news only trickled out through the industry grapevine.
Got rid of my first wife, and I gave her everything. So I'm starting over from scratch. Just signed away everything in December. But I'm starting from, I still have all my cars, all my tools. I don't have a shop anymore.
Public statements were minimal. Chip thanked fans for support and asked for privacy. Lynn simply expressed hope for amicable resolution. Devastated but composed, Chip shifted into expression mode, more late-night sketching, guest judging on design competitions rather than filming his own show. For a while, he felt adrift without Lynn, as if he were a car without a steering wheel. It was an unfamiliar emptiness for a man who'd always been driven by forward momentum. By 2018, Brock was nearly 20, old enough to understand headlines about him as Foose's son. He'd spent his childhood racing Hot Wheels on shop floors and practicing paint techniques. But as divorce proceedings unfolded, reporters swarmed. Brock, unlike his dad, chose to stay silent, deleting social media posts, avoiding public appearances. Brock retreated from the limelight to focus on building his own life away from his father's shadow. He went off to college far from Southern California, concentrating on his education and personal interests. Rather than sharing his projects online, he kept them private, showing design ideas to his dad only in personal moments. He even picked up hobbies outside the automotive world, determined to carve out an identity beyond just cars. By 2020, Chip publicly spoke about balance. "I used to define myself by the roar of an engine. Now I also define myself by laughter at the dinner table." He scaled back Overhaulin episodes to focus on private commissions and local car club events. Saturdays became sacrosanct family days. Go-kart racing with Brock, pizza nights with Katie, video chats with Lynn, co-parenting in practice. Lynn, for her part, stepped away from Foose Design entirely and moved on to her own endeavors. She kept a low profile, but she often reflected on the lessons learned from mixing marriage with business. She emphasized communication, boundary setting, and especially self-care, believing that you can't give 100% to a partnership if you're running on empty. In 2022, Brock quietly graduated from college and began charting his own course. Word spread among the car community that the next Foose was finding his footing, though this time he chose a low-key launch instead of a primetime reveal. Brock was intent on earning respect in his own right, without the spectacle that often accompanied his father's projects. Just as you check fluid levels before a long drive, check in emotionally before problems overheat. Ambition propelled Chip and Lynn for decades, but shared values sustained them. When values diverge, the drive can stall. A divorce doesn't erase love or respect. It can be the blueprint for healthier relationships, business, familial, or personal. Chip Foose's journey reminds us that no matter how gleaming the exterior, every relationship needs tuning. His divorce wasn't a scandal. It was a human story of two people pouring their lives into a dream, until there was nothing left to fuel both marriage and business. In stepping back, Lynn reclaimed her voice. In stepping forward, Chip rediscovered his heart. And in stepping outside his father's footprint, Brock found his own path. Today, Chip still sketches, welds, and transforms metal into art, but he also stops to savor those quiet moments. The man who could resurrect a rust bucket into a showstopper is now learning to restore what matters most: family. Was it the relentless pace of fame, the business pressures, or simply two lives evolving in different directions? Drop your thoughts below, and if you found this look behind the scenes moving, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more deep dives into the car world's biggest stories. Until next time, keep your engines and your hearts in tune. Tuna No Crust signing off.